Attorney General for coming tonight.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. Roll call, Diane.
Mr. Douglas,
Here.
last night, next time's in the morning, I'll have coffee ready for you. Mr. Barber.
Here.
And Mr. Bruno.
Here.
Mr. Irwin.
Here.
Supervisor, Mr. McDonald. Water and Sewer Superintendent, Mr. Tatro. Highway Superintendent, Mr. Errol, my work husband. Judge Thurber. Tyler Jarvis, our Deputy Highway Superintendent. Chaka, DCO. Ms. Barber, our confidential secretary to the board. Kristen Marino, our recreation director. Our all faithfuls, Mr. Baggs. Ricky's wife is here tonight. Welcome, Kay. Our new councilman come January 1, Mr. Duquette and Mr. Ryan. And did I miss anybody?
Diane is here.
There we go. I'm done.
And Matt was gonna be running behind like 6:30, 6:45, because his son with the basketball thing, so I just told him, I said, we're good. So, save a little bit on attorney fees. And
He's good to us anyway.
also, number 10, I need someone to make a motion to table. We're gonna table number 10. We all had discussion about it. We're all in agreement of, everyone said 2 meetings is good for everybody. So I need a table, I need a motion to table.
May I just say something, please, before a motion is made? I know that it wasn't not well received, but if anyone looks at the calendar, Mr. Bruno, please look at me, because you've looked not at me twice when I brought it up, is that if you look at the calendar, we are all over the map because of holidays and whatnot. So that was one of the things when Judy and I were looking at the calendar, that maybe for 2024, it might be best to only have one meeting a month, and we can bill pay, utilities, etc., at the beginning of the month. 2025's calendar may look differently, but it's very different this year, the way Washington's birthday is, Martin Luther King, you get into Easter, you get into all these holidays. So I'm just asking you to all reconsider at some point. I'm happy to go over the calendar with you.
There will be a couple, I think there's 3 months that are, like Diane's saying, there's tricky where it's gonna be
It's
one
not gonna be
meeting or like
on a
a week, we
Thursday,
have another
yes.
meeting. So maybe them 3
I just
months,
need to talk.
once we look at the calendar, the way me and Judy and Diane has, maybe those 3 months we could do one
And that's
meeting
why I
in
was
3 months.
asking, that's why I was recommending it.
But we can all look at it.
Okay.
Well, for me, I mean, and I'll just speak, I'm not against if it's a month or 2 or 3, but to change for the full year.
Yeah.
But we can look at it.
It can be looked at, but if you looked at the way the calendar all is, it's crazy, especially the first 5 months. And it's just the way that, and I think leap year has a lot to do with it this year.
If we start skipping meetings, are you guys willing to take a cut in pay?
We don't work
Because
any
we got our
less.
pay as being 2 meetings a month.
Not really, because when most of us were elected, it was one meeting and every other town in the
Not
size
this,
town.
not in this budget.
Oh, I didn't know that you had to attend 2
leading up
meetings.
to that. Leading up to that, but regardless,
Okay.
we're good with the way it is. We're the only town in Clinton County besides town of Plattsburgh that has 2 meetings a month. Every other town, Beavertown, Osceola, Blackbrook, Chesterfield, all Essex, all have one, but
That
We're
makes
good
us
with it.
more efficient, is all it does.
we're
Just
good.
make sure you check your calendars, because they're not always gonna be on the Mondays.
Mondays, that's what I'm saying, it's
I don't
crazy.
see where that's gonna be an issue. We just change it to a Wednesday or a Thursday. It's not really a big deal.
Waiting for something.
No, I'm just saying, just make sure and check your calendars,
Yeah.
in case I don't remind you every week.
So I need a motion to table number
That
10.
doesn't
I'll make
happen.
that motion.
Rick made the motion,
I'll second.
and Mel second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on. I need a motion and a second to accept all reports, water, sewer, Belcor, highway, town clerk, dog control, youth, code zoning, supervisor court, website, banking. We do have no JCO because we have no one downstairs still. They're working on it, but unfortunately they're shorthanded everywhere, and April is no longer with JCO for downstairs.
I make the motion.
Craig made the motion,
I'll second.
second by Mel. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Quick question.
They're working on somebody, they offered it to another person a week and a half ago. I haven't heard, unless Pam, have you heard this week?
They didn't even show up today, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
They offered it to another person a week and a half ago, and they haven't accepted it, the position. I can tell you, if it lasts between me, and I'm sure you guys will be in agreement, if we don't have somebody here shortly, we gotta talk about the salary that we pay for down there. The amount, which is $37,000. It's not right if we don't have anybody to represent the town of Peru. We went over this 3 years ago when Jim had to get involved with the head one down there with JCO because they were missing so many weeks downstairs. We got it fixed. We got a good person. Something happened, obviously. We don't know. I don't know if it's her, JCO, or whatever, but she is no longer with us, and it's been very bare downstairs. And a lot of calls. I had to delete 27 messages for a month downstairs because no phone calls were getting forward because it was full downstairs. And all the people during Thanksgiving, those messages that I listened to, 50 of them, and I gave up because they're all within 3 weeks of 107 messages.
I don't think we should wait any longer. I just think we should put the pressure on them.
Damn, I'll
Christmas
call
is right around the corner.
Yeah, I mean,
I would make a phone call if I was you this week and say, hey, we're gonna withdraw our 37,000, get a representative.
See, because Bruce Garcia was there and I but I'll call this lady because.
I can call her too. I talked to her twice already.
Okay.
I talked to her twice already. She said they're working. I mean, it's hard to find people for the job because it is very low pay, but at the same time, if you're contracting with each town for $37,000, you need to have a representative here.
Absolutely.
And they don't pay that person $37,000. That's not what she got. She got like low 20s, and she did a great job.
I did call Larry and ask them to forward all the calls to the main office, so at least when somebody
Oh, good.
calls, then
Yeah.
they'll get down
Yeah,
there.
because I haven't got any calls before when the message thing was full. I was going to call after call saying no one's ever there, no one answers, no one calls us back. That's when Pam and we went downstairs. I did the password downstairs and found out it was solid package.
Coming up on 30 days, nobody in that office, right?
Yeah.
Well, not only that, but they didn't call today to let
Anybody
anybody know
know.
that nobody was here, and,
Yeah,
people came for
that time
the
of year.
fresh food giveaway and.
Which is every Monday. There's a truck here, and there's hundreds of people go in and out of there on Mondays. Nothing today, not a phone call, nothing.
Taking the 37,000.
So
That truck is
there's
full of.
people lined up.
Make her an
you know.
employee,
A lot of Sam's Club.
keep them on.
Yep. So there will, like I said, we gotta get a phone call into them, and if someone doesn't change, then we gotta figure out what we can do.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
I would, I don't want to belabor with it. If I call or you call Randy, I would just say that we can divide that up into the 12 months and they're not going to get paid.
Yeah, we gotta do something.
If somebody doesn't show up for a couple of months, they're not going to get the money. Period.
Well, and this time is the worst time of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got
Thanksgiving and
heat
Christmas and.
and Thanksgiving and Christmas.
You got
and-
WIC, you got heat, you got all
Yeah,
that
WIC
stuff.
is totally separate, but heat and everything else
Heat is a
too,
big thing down there. She helped a lot of people.
which they can go to the main office, but
We'll fill everybody in once we hear more this week.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Yep, number 5, I need a motion to accept the minutes of the regular board meeting of November 20th. Jim Douglas,
Second it.
give it to Rick.
I didn't even hear him.
All in favor?
Aye. I see him just raise his hand now or something.
He said it. Even Jim heard him. Yeah, look at the camera now. Watch it.
Throw the red flag, I want to replay.
You're outvoted. Community input, number 6. Anybody?
Yep.
Any community input at all? Okay, moving on. Number 7, possibly purchase, I need it's a motion and resolution to possibly purchase used dump truck for highway department. Like, want to talk about it?
Yeah, started last week, this is the twin of
International 2007, we sold this in 2009. Started using almost 3 gallons of antifreeze in 3 hours. After pulling the oil stick, it's mixing with the oil. So it's a washing time bomb. So I went and talked to Jimmy. This particular truck, the box is shot. The frame has been welded on both sides twice. So it's not worth doing a motor drive or putting a motor in it. So I'm looking to do an emergency purchase for a plow truck because we're already down one. Waiting for a hydraulic pump, which is going to be 40 days at the minimum. So I've made a call out to Charlie Boys. They had one in Braintree, Vermont. Tyler and I went over last Friday for a ride. We also called the plow dealers, equipment dealers, to see if anybody had anything. Nobody's got anything. Of course, it's the wrong time of year. Most trucks come in the spring. There was one other potential with Charlie Boys, but another company in Vermont bought a new truck, but they wanted the highway superintendent wanted to keep it for a spare, and that was a 2012 Western Star, or 13, excuse me. The superintendent wanted to keep it for a spare because they had no spare, and the town board wanted to trade it. They had their meeting last week, one day, and I called Sandy back, and they're going to keep it for a spare, which, you know, it's smart. If you break down, at least you got another truck. So Tyler and I went over to Braintree. We looked at it. The truck is spotless. It's a 3-man town. They plow all dirt roads, but they trade the trucks every 8 years. So the truck's got like 57,000 miles, but they can't let it go till their new one's in, which is somewhere around the end of the month, first part of January. The plow gear gets put on. So, you know, they had up pictures. I mean, whoever did it, they crawled underneath on a creeper, took all the pictures underneath. Tyler went around everything. It's a Mac is the only thing. If we got to hook it to a computer, we're probably going to have to bring it to Vermont because it's a Mac. I got one other option to check, and Jason Bodette up by Old Sable dump building. I don't know if he's got the computer programs. If you got something that needs to be hooked on, to tell anything else, but like I said, every year its truck is spotless. So it's got the same front, 11-foot slusher in the front, 10-coal plow gear, and then a 10-foot wing. So that's what we're looking at. The truck is 93,000, but it's just been one of them years I've never seen to end, but mechanical wise. I didn't want to go in. I don't want to go in being 2 trucks short right now because we're coming into winter. So that's as much as I don't want it. This is. Charlie Boys did offer if at any point they would, because they know this that particular department trades every 8 years. They would be willing to take that to trade if we ever want to trade it. So it would be a frontline truck, that's for sure. So that's why I'm asking for it tonight.
Seems like pretty low mileage, 65,000.
Yeah, it's got 50 something, but we're just guessing what they're going to put on it.
Yeah, but still, that's not bad for a plow truck for a town.
When Tyler, you and I were talking earlier today, Tyler was asking, is there a warranty that follows that?
I'm sure there's, Charlie Boys, actually they're going to bring it to their shop, they're going to go through one end to the other. If it needs brakes, they're going to put it on before we even see it, and fix anything that needs it. I know it's not, you can tell it's not going to need anything. The only thing it might need is a set of rubbers in the back. They got aggressive winter tires on. Actually, they run chains all winter because they got dirt roads. So even their loaders got chains on them. So,
wow.
But the truck is, like I said, not worried about it. Charlie Boys said they will go right through it. We won't even have to go get it. They'll actually bring it to their Plattsburgh shop if you so choose to purchase it, and they'll do the New York State inspection, so we won't even have to do that. So if you okay it, and once we get the truck, we can have that, once we get it registered, within a day we can have it on the run.
You and Tyler drive it at all?
No, we didn't drive it, no.
It was tucked in the back of the garage.
Yeah.
It was tucked in the back of the garage. You would have to empty the shop.
You know how small the place is. It was, you got 3 trucks. And you got two side by side here and there's a little wooden table, maybe 6, 8 foot between them, and that's their break and lunchroom table, so. Nobody can say how bad they got it, because you see what they're working in. So.
Stainless steel box or no?
No,
Painted?
no, and they don't use salt or anything, they actually just run gravel, for very stony gravel they run
We
through.
should
They got all their roads.
replacement behind that truck.
Yeah.
How big a box?
It's, same as mine, so it's 14 with box, 15 with the,
My son's fiance, she lives under.
it's got
Can you
side
hook your
tilts.
brine up to it?
Yeah.
Will you be able to hook your brine up to that?
No, we don't use brine on the truck, only the sprayer.
Okay. But you can put the spray on it.
The truck's in immaculate shape for a plow truck. It looks better than some of our newer ones, honestly.
What's gonna happen to our truck?
They don't run salt.
It splits, we're scrap.
You run until it blows.
It's not gonna be on the
Any
road.
parts we can just take off it?
What's that? Yeah, we'll take the plows off it, and, actually the rubber, I think we put new rubber on that, we'll take that. And it should fit the truck we got, we would swap it.
You gonna scrap it or try to auction it? You gonna scrap it or try to auction it?
No, I would,
Frame. You gotta be careful with the frame.
yeah, because the frame and then, I don't know what you said, we're babying it. He's using that much antifreeze, which we can get by with, but it's, if we get a storm or it's an all-day storm where he's gotta keep cycling, it's gonna seize up. It's just a matter of when.
Oh, yeah.
You pull the oil drain off the motor and it'll blow the cap right out of your hand. It's not good.
No,
A little pressure
No,
crankcase.
and not like you said, 3-4 hours, you're putting 3-4 gallons of fuel or antifreeze in it.
I'm good, I'll make the motion to purchase the truck.
I'll second.
Craig made the motion, Mel second, roll call, and then resolution, or I said do resolution.
I gotta read this,
Yeah.
baby. Craig?
Yeah, and then Mel. Yeah.
Resolution to purchase a 2016 Mack Granite tandem axle dump truck with approximately 65,000 miles and 10 coat plow gear from R.R. Charlie Board, whereas the town approved the town board has found a need to purchase a 2016 Mack Granite tandem axle dump truck with approximately 65,000 miles and 10 coat plow gear from R.R. Charlie Board due to the future decommissioning of the 2007 International 7600 dump truck, whereas the town board and the highway department have determined that the 2006 Mack Granite tandem axle dump truck would enable the town to provide a continued level of quality service to the town residents at a reasonable price, whereas the town of Sable and the town of Peru has agreed to the sale and purchase of the 2016 Mack Granite tandem axle dump truck with 10-coat plow gear from the R.R. Charlie Boy for $93,170 with an expected delivery date in January 2024. Now therefore be resolved that the town supervisor is authorized to sign all the paperwork to execute this purchase as soon as possible.
The
Yeah.
town
Should be
of
the
Sable
town of
should be
Sable.
there.
Right.
I was gonna say. we
And
have
it's
to do a shared
93,170.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
We
Had
got
the Mack dog on the hood?
We'll just take, that's easy, that's an easy fix. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
And Mr. McDonald?
Yes. And as we talked, the county is still up, I'm sure Mel heard it too, and I know it's talked to the county people. Sales tax is still way up, even more than it was last year. Last year we got over $307,000. So this obviously is unexpected. So hopefully the sales tax money, we only put $80,000 in the budget. So anything beyond that is, I mean, this is something that, you know, if you had to order a new one, we all know 2 to 3 years. So that's where that will come out of. Once we get it. Okay, next one, number 8. Helen, you want to talk about the grant for the windows in the Heyworth Mason Park building?
Okay. Change things a little bit.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So we had put a request into the BASIN program, sorry.
You're good.
Okay, so the BASIN program for 2 grants. One was to finish up the murals or the paintings on the Heyworth building, and the other was a request to create a mural for downtown Peru. Things have changed a little bit. First of all, we won't need a grant to finish up the paintings on the Heyworth building, as it turns out, so I will let them know that. We're not rejecting a grant, we're rejecting the opportunity to put in a full proposal for a grant. So they have to they were interested in learning more about what we wanted to do. So it's not it's not the worst thing, it's something like sending money back.
Yeah.
We would still like to do a mural, but we found out that the three places, and Greg, you can kick in any time, the three places we were going to put the mural on, we had the choices. One was downtown, the hardware store, the side of the hardware store. The other is the Colleen Senecal's dentist office, which is right next to Stewart. And the other is the side of the Grand Union building, which faces the road. And it turns out that those three places are no longer an option for us for this grant. The timing, for one thing, was bad because this grant doesn't kick in until 2024, October. And the people that wanted the two that accepted the mural wanted it faster, and one didn't want to be associated with a grant. And the hardware store dropped out anyway for insurance reasons and things like that. So, Greg and I would still quit.
So the dentist office, these are, both the dentist office and the Grand Union are in, like, they want murals, which is really, it's exciting to me. And they're, it sounds like, willing to privately fund it. Which is going to allow for them to have more input and flexibility. The project that we're proposing has some it has some stuff that goes along with it that's educational, working with a couple of different entities. And so explaining that to them, they were like, this sounds like a lot. We really just want paintings for murals, which is, that's good.
The grant was set up to work with students, which is why it was, and we're still want to work with students. We're going to work with the Six Nations Cultural Center. We wanted to work with them because we have a history of that in Peru, natives living here, and SUNY Plattsburgh Archaeology. So we wanted to do all that, which made it very appealing to the grantors. And we were asking for $9,000. Most of it would go to the artists, and the rest would go for supplies. The match would be the town of Peru, because the way Greg would do it, it would go up on a wall. So the match would be the town of Peru installing it. So that's because they like to have the entities showing some interest. But now we're down to location, and this is the discussion. And Greg, you suggested location.
Yeah. So.
It's all your fault, Greg.
So so the hardware store, they were concerned about the brick being too soft, and the other two locations are currently spoken for. So I thought we spent a lot of time throughout the years at Lapham's Mills, and there's some outbuildings and walls there that could be potential locations for murals. So it's not quite in the town, but it's still an area that's utilized by our community quite heavily. So that's something that...
One other idea too, Courtney's brought it up in the past, is underneath the bridge when the walking trail goes down.
Oh yeah.
Saranac Lake has a walking trail.
Yeah, they do.
Underneath the bridge,
Yeah.
and those is all hanging up.
And it is really nice,
Yeah.
if you've been down there.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Okay.
Can you do it?
Yeah.
That's just another option, I mean, it hasn't, but that is.
I would imagine there that you're gonna have to paint it on. I don't know how tough the DOT's gonna be fastening
To the bridge.
To the
their
bridge.
concrete.
They made me
You
use
could try it, but-
use their paint.
Oh,
I painted
You can
that.
ask.
No one
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
the artwork.
Got rid of graffiti.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Since I was watching.
Well, that I mean, we're really looking for a good location. We thought that, you know, the back of the dugout at the Lappin's Mills Park.
Yeah.
It's a location, it faces the road, but I like that much better because that's part of our park.
Well, it's part of our walking trail, and so
Yeah, I
people
love
start
that.
there and park
Yeah.
down there. I mean,
Yeah.
it's right by our, you know, our park.
Yeah,
So, I like that, really good idea. But, then
So
again,
I'll-
we gotta
yeah.
get one to DEC and everything else because of the bridge.
DOT.
Or DOT, not DEC.
okay,
Either way.
I like that. And, you know, we just still have the students involved and the other, you know, groups involved.
The more you get
It's just the
students
location.
involved, less likely there's gonna be some vandalism.
We've been lucky down there, knock on wood, since the cameras went up.
One time,
They've had it when you put out there, there's cameras in there, you can see them, so.
and we
All
caught,
murals are subject to that.
Yep, they are,
Yeah,
always.
yeah, so,
Yeah.
anyway, okay.
And-
So I'll get a description of exactly where, and we'll get pictures if that's a better option.
I can hold a flashlight on a measure of time.
No. No, that's okay.
Well, go that way.
And I also have a question for these two murals, the Grand Union and the dentist office. My proposals, and this goes along with the grant, is to work on panels similar to what we're doing at the Mason Building and have those affixed to the wall. So the material that I've found that for affixing to the concrete is much lighter. It's an aluminum sign material that it's a place in Plattsburgh that would supply it. But so my question is, if we're completely covering a wall with these panels, what is there some sort of town sort of ordinance type of
You,
thing that?
just check with Bob. I
We
mean,
get a
we
variance.
do have a thing with signs and
Yeah.
different business signs and everything, but I think there can be obviously, some,
I don't think a mural.
what a mural
classifies as a
is,
sign.
yeah.
He knows we're doing this, we've talked with him a couple
Yeah,
of
so,
times, so.
just ask Bob, but I think it's, I think it's, there's no issue, but
Okay.
double check.
Greg, how much input do you think you can have?
Because we have that issue.
It's gonna be strictly they're paying for it, they call all the shots, or they wanna work with you?
So the dentist office, they're both interested in doing something that looks very community friendly because they're, you know, they're trying to appeal to the community. So I think the dentist office wanted something having to do with like forest, landscape, lake, because it's lakeshore dentistry, so something like that, Adirondack landscape scene, which makes sense. And then the Grand Union one, he was kind of open to anything. He was just like, show me what you think would be cool, and if I'm good with it, we'll do it.
So, yeah.
So, and he was also very interested in whatever would appeal most to the community, so.
So if we're talking panels that are gonna be installed, they can also be uninstalled. How does the ownership go of these panels?
Yeah, I kind of have a question too. If it's one of the private, if they're paying for it, who's installing?
Yep, so that's a great question. So what I've told those business owners is that I would ask for input on this and get back to them. So if the question is who's installing it, it might just mean they're going to be installing it and the town doesn't have to be involved. I'm not sure if, does that make sense?
Yeah, because if,
It's a lot of liability.
It's a liability.
Those are all
Yeah.
brick buildings. I mean, what happens if we create a leak in that?
Yeah, I think that was kind of the hardware store owner's
Especially in
concern
our
was
store,
very much,
definitely not.
this is a liability, so my part in it is painting panels, and kind of after that.
so we can have more discussion.
Greg, we were gonna talk with Matt, we're not sure that Matt Faber was gonna be
He won't be
here.
here today.
Not gonna be
No,
here.
he's not.
So we're gonna have to hold off on having a discussion of just how exactly the panels on the Heyworth Mason building. So, I'll talk to you more later about concerns with that.
Like later tonight or later?
Like going to bed?
He's not gonna be here, so.
Another day.
Okay, another day?
Yeah.
Another day.
You're free to
Good
go.
with me?
Watch him shake.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. Okay, so we are number 9. I need a motion and a second to approve the contract for the income survey for the water sewer department by Liz Tedford. This is for our survey for our grants and our different things to see if we can get to the lower income. We currently had a meeting 2 weeks ago with AES, and then we've had a lot of other meetings with the health department, other issues. But the AES meeting to go with this, our income survey right now is $72,000 in the town of Peru for a family. Back when we had the other grant that we got for the, what trailer park is it called? Trailer park. South Acres Trailer Park, we were like 47,000, so it goes to show what 7 to 8 years does to our salary. If we're up to 72, we gotta be 61,000 or under, we're at 72. Obviously, these surveys will go out, Liz will do what she's done before, she's done a wonderful job. We got to just get out information to the public. The names don't matter on the surveys. We do not see it personally ourselves. We don't know that, Joe lives here, makes 40,000, and his mother next door makes 90,000 or something like that. We just want to have people be honest with it. A lot of surveys go out and people put more because they are, I hate to say it this way, but embarrassed about their income, some people, so they put a higher income. This helps everybody by being honest with their income, because if we're stay high where we are, we're not gonna get, we're not gonna get the grants and the different things that we could qualify for, like the 0 interest or the longer term. And this is what Liz did, numerous times for us. But like I said, we're at 72, was it, Courtney? It's like 72, 73.
Our current ones, I think it's been so long since we did it that I don't think our current one's good anymore.
Yeah.
That's why we have to redo it. And if I remember right, I don't think your name goes on it.
No, it doesn't. No, the AES told us when our meeting that our
Your
names
name's
don't even
not
go on
it,
this.
and town employees,
Never see it.
officials, never touch any of this paperwork.
Yeah.
We don't see it. It's all an independent consultant.
Yeah.
So this is
Oh,
the,
I could help bring it down.
And they can't
This is
tell
the, yeah.
who makes what.
I could help
so.
bring it down.
so this will be a door-to-door survey.
This is a mail survey, and if Liz has to go door to door, if she doesn't get enough back response like she did over with South Acres, she went door to door because she didn't get enough response back. And we gotta be below in the 62, 61,000.
And this will only be people in the water and sewer districts.
Yes.
Yes, only. Yep.
And we're doing both districts, that way it covers us for funding on both sides.
Perfect.
But our biggest thing that we need to get out to the public
We're
is
just doing-
names are not on the surveys.
Stay away from
We
that.
do not see it.
Look out for us.
So we really don't know where it comes from ever. Just, it's very important to get back and to be honest about your income. It's our biggest thing at Advocate, to get it out there that we never see a name on it, which, because there's not, and that,
Can you be dishonest?
What?
Can you be dishonest?
that's up to whoever's filling it out. But we
Last time we did one, I did have a retired couple. I had to go meet with them. I tried to explain to them, but they were adamant, like, we'll pay our fair share. And it's like, well, no.
it hurts the town.
We have to get a certain amount of response back. If we don't, then we have to go door to door.
Yeah.
If it's honest, it could mean we get a grant or we don't.
Yeah.
It could bring the cost down for everyone.
Yeah, lovely.
Brandy, just real quick, just, food for thought, when I was on the school board, we did that often. That's how we got some of the, like, reduced lunches, free lunches.
Yep.
So maybe while you're doing this survey, you might wanna check with somebody from the school district, because they do these on a regular basis, that's how they build their free grant money and stuff that they have, not free, but grant money for lunch programs and stuff like that. And I know that you were on the lower end when I was on the board. So it's something you might wanna look at, so you might be able to use those numbers in addition to what we do here.
You're not speaking terms with the school.
What's that?
You don't get along with the school.
Just saying.
But yeah, no, but Liz has done it numerous times, and she's very, very good about it.
We've done it in Peru.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we have.
When we started our collection project.
Yeah, we did a collection project, we did South Acres. I think we've done it 3 times since I've been on the board. So I need a motion and a second for a resolution for this.
Motion.
Craig made the motion, Jim second, resolution, Diane. Number 9.
Resolution accepting the Tedford Consulting proposal for conducting the town of Peru wastewater and water districts income surveys. Whereas the town board has received a proposal from Tedford Consulting for conducting wastewater and water district income surveys for the purpose of town qualifications for grant money for the repair of the town's wastewater and water systems. And whereas the town board has reviewed this proposal and has decided that the proposal best meets the needs of the town for gathering income information for inclusion in the town's grant applications for wastewater and water systems repair grant money. Now therefore be resolved that the town of Peru accepts the proposal of Tedford Consulting for conducting a town wastewater and water districts home survey at a cost not to exceed $10,000, and be it resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
I just had one more question before we finish up with it. This is open-ended, we're paying it $100 an hour, right?
Not to exceed
Not
Not
that
to
Yeah.
exceed $10,000.
on the contract. She says she thinks it'll be like 8,000.
8,000.
In case there's some bumps in the road.
So we're gonna do this at $100 an hour, which she
No,
has
there's
here.
No, there's nothing
Nothing
about
about
$100.
Right here, it says party agrees to $100 an hour.
Where?
Up to 10,000.
Up to 10,000.
Right.
That's her rate per hour.
Yeah.
That's what she charges.
So she's gonna do an hourly rate, and then
Right.
we'll cover her until she gets to 10 grand, and that's it. Just to clarify.
Yep.
All right.
She- Not to exceed.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Yes. Yes.
Right, Jim, okay.
And myself, yes.
Yeah, and Mr. McDonald.
Yes. Okay, so that's done. Okay, we're already to other business. Other business for me, I will start, obviously, Rick, it's your second to last meeting. We can't thank you, or I can't thank you, I should say. I can't thank you enough for being a councilman on this board, and a friend of mine, obviously. You've done numerous things, as we all know, not things that you sit there and brag or advertise. You're just a person that does something and you do it because of who you are. Obviously, the concert stand down there, stage is, saves us about $27,000. This town did. The bell stuff, all the numerous times I've called you at nighttime over and over and over, myself personally, on stuff with the town. I want to thank you so much for everything you've done for this town. There's not a lot of councilmen that I can say in the past that did a lot like you have done, and continue doing it and not get the recognition. But thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And all this stuff, but, I can't count how many times I've called you, Rick, are you in town, or you're here, or someone's
Wait,
gone
you
on
went
the
on,
baseball field, and you, but, just want to
Chased a few more.
Jim, actually, we'll have you last tonight.
Oh, there you go.
Jim.
No, Rick, I just, what Randy has said, you've been a great board member. I mean, we don't always agree, but we can always talk about it, and it's been a real pleasure serving with you, honestly.
Anybody else? Right.
I'm good. I'm good. I mean, Rick and I agree to disagree, and that's the best thing about it. He's my balancer, but I'm his balancer.
No.
Changing topics, tractor parade, fantastic to see so many young faces, both on floats. So that's really rewarding.
It was great.
It was nice. Great.
The tractor parade, yes, superb, awesome. I wasn't available at the tree lighting, but I also heard that was fantastic. The kids had the best time ever.
Chuck that Santa.
Super,
Really
super
worked out
good,
well.
whatever you guys did. I've had good word back from a bunch of people saying it was so good, oh my God. And Rick, thanks for everything you've done throughout your years and for beating me and giving me time off. You definitely were one of the most active board members I worked with, so it was really nice having you around and having that free time to fill in the blanks. Thanks. We'll miss you. Good.
Okay.
But we welcome Eric.
Oh, yeah.
Just wanna say, guys, appreciate you guys letting us do the tractor parades and being part of the community. I think it's good that people see who we are, gives us a better name, I feel like. So anytime we can be there, just let us know. Was a snowy morning, we were out early. Things have been going pretty smooth, knock on wood. We do have another truck with a pump problem, but it should be fixed the 20th. So hopefully, no major breakdowns, but just minor things, so nothing we can control. Salt reduction is almost complete with Mike's end of it with his tracking. So as soon as tomorrow, we got a couple trucks to calibrate. After that, we should pretty much be on our target for salt reduction for the winter. And then it's just a matter of maintaining the calibrations all winter and making sure the trucks are putting out what they're supposed to. Other than that, the trucks have been, the ones that are calibrated are pretty much on target, so.
Okay, excellent.
You're all stocked up on mailboxes.
I don't go there. Like 5 to 10 calls a year.
No, I mean, it was wet, heavy snow, and we do have, 2-3 guys that have never really plowed in this kind of weather, but, I went back to the village this morning training a new guy, and Kyle, one of our new guys, did the village all on his own this morning, and I gotta say, I couldn't even nitpick it, there was nothing. He did a good job, so. Same with the other guys, they're doing a hell of a job, so. Hopefully.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, thank you, Joe.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I want to, thank Ricky, he's been great to work with. Just give you an example, middle of hunting season, he comes over to the court and he hauls all of our files. He come over here, make sure that Diane gets him to lock them up downstairs in the vault. I mean, that's not really the job description of the board member, but we really appreciate everything he's done for us.
Hold your applause.
He's so tough.
We really appreciate everything he's done for us, 100%. Court, we've been busy. Last time I was in, we were working on getting all the scoff laws, all the cases for COVID for vehicle traffic. Holly's done a great job, pretty much caught up. So we're working on new things as they're coming in, but things are going pretty good. Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, Judge.
Thank you.
Sure.
Things are good. Issues only with just knowing what's our town and what's not our town. I spent way too much time dealing with an issue that turned out to be unstable. Maggie and I were very appreciative to be allowed to be Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and we're happy to do it every year. If you,
That was awesome.
That was good. And I must say, Rick, thank you also. You were, when I first, before I even started here, you were like, are you sure? You asked me the first time.
Because Brandy was doing so good, that's why we weren't sure.
I was not doing good. I was not doing good.
You want to talk about our complaint, or
Sorry.
he wanted you bad?
I wanted anybody in that position back, because I didn't want to phone
I
calls.
was, and he was very much like, okay, but think about it.
Because believe me, if someone's gonna go wrong, it's when you're on vacation or you're gone, as you know. As you know. Brandy, I'm leaving for a couple days.
You're doing a great
3 phone
job.
calls. I haven't got phone calls in a week, but thank you. And thank you for pulling that together for being, Sam. That was awesome.
You did
It was
That was very
awesome.
nice. And the fire department working with us, and
Great.
it was
It was
absolutely awesome.
perfect. It's the best Christmas tree lighting I've had since I've done it since 2018. It was awesome.
No, it was really nice, and I think it will grow now that we're after COVID and they know we are starting
We're
to,
back.
we're back to getting, it'd be nice to get the fellowships back or something to get presents out, things like
Mrs.
that.
Santa wanted to do that because
Yeah.
Mrs. Santa and I chatted about that.
So we had kind of that discussion before next Christmas.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Courtney?
Reading meters next week. Anybody has policies? Shouldn't have to go into too many yards. We are a majority radio read now, so some changeover. We have our new software implemented. And now we can do drive-by with our belt clip. We don't have the vehicle unit yet. We gotta go pretty slow with belt clip. A lot of it's radio from the road now.
Nice.
Tomorrow I'm meeting with Eric Hansen from Hansen Von Wheat and AES staff. We're gonna walk target property to look at potential for test wells. Anybody, is that 10:30? If you wanted to go, I can let you
You wanna
know.
wear some rubber boots?
We're just gonna walk the woods, see if there's anything that sticks out as
You doing that tomorrow morning?
a good test site, and then we can discuss with the property owners the next steps.
So I meet you tomorrow.
Also, I'll text
If
you the
anyone
time.
else wants to.
I think it's 10.
Okay, let me know.
What else do I have? Our tool vans, we were gonna have, Tyler was gonna help us out with some body work, because we got some rockers and doors rotting, but we noticed some corrosion on the frame. To the point where we didn't think it was gonna pass inspection, because the frame's getting rotted. We do have it down at Jimmy Rocks, he's looking over, it doesn't look like it's the main frame, hopefully, but it is where the cab mounts, and possibly still could pass inspection this year.
That'd be good.
I have, future-wise, unfortunately, it's gonna be another piece of equipment that's going. It's too bad the back's all fiberglass, the back's in great shape, but it's a 2002, we bought it used. It's only got maybe 85,000 miles on it. So that's coming, what else?
Is it a van or a truck with a box on it?
It's a van.
It's a van, it's a work van, whatever.
It's a walk-in, it's a van chassis with a walk-in,
All their tools.
walk-in.
I know which one it is.
Just to give a little insight, I did look up parts and, saving the labor with me doing it, you're still looking at about $4,500. Ford couldn't even find doors for that van. They're so rotted, and Malone Ford had 27 doors left through each side. So it's, you get the doors and fix it now and hope that it lasts.
The only problem at this point, if it is getting into the frame, we gotta,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put money.
No, we're not gonna-
Question, and this is just thinking outside the box. Is it worth fixing the truck, and and the box is in good shape? Can we buy a truck chassis
Yeah, you
and
could.
put that box on it?
You could have the back re-chassis.
I mean, that's gonna save a ton.
All depending on what the chassis go for. I'm not,
Mm-hmm.
I looked up a couple and they were quite pricey, but I don't know if
Well,
state contract ever comes back
We're,
around
we're,
or.
we're buying a dump truck for $93,000. That truck and chassis.
He's got a lot bigger paycheck than I do, so.
I'm just saying,
No, he doesn't.
it's a 2002. I mean,
I
it's,
had a bigger baby. His piggy bank broke.
So those are all,
yes.
things we gotta look at.
Okay.
Other than that,
He was up to date on it, you know?
yeah,
You gotta make
I
a
was
move.
hoping, he didn't have a chance to go through it, there's a fuel leak on the engine too they're looking at, so I didn't get a full report today on it, but.
So if we gotta make a move, we will, you know,
Let's
we're making a move for him, make a move for you.
Other than that, Rick, thank you very much. You've been a huge supporter of my departments. Instrumental helping us recognizing we needed that excavator to do more work in the house and make it easier. You always came around to see what was up. You popped in the water plant the other day, you see us all there working.
Yep.
We appreciate it.
You
Thank
need your trailer.
Do a lot of van.
Courtney, everything's good with the water plant. We have concerns about the amount of rainfall.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. We put it into bypass Sunday. Unfortunately, the grates filled up overnight with leaves, so some did get in the reservoir, but it's nothing we can't handle right now. Brandy and I did have a meeting with the health department and AES, because AES was concerned with the timeline. The health department gave us within meeting stuff. So the pressure's kind of on now to hit all the steps. Like I said, we're doing the walkthrough. We're gonna be looking at some point, we're gonna have to come back and revisit their contract that we signed. We left out the evaluation of the water plant. Because that's probably got to be added. And.
Yeah, the health department told me, Courtney, and basically AES, they want their stuff to be the priority. All the other stuff, they have to have the priority first.
Yeah.
We had a meeting last week with them.
I met with my chemical supplier for up there. They're gonna come out and jar test. There's some other products that they think might help us out a little better on some of those conditions. So they should be coming out in a few weeks and trying out some different chemicals.
Oh, good, that'd be helpful. It's not all bad news, but.
Nah.
The only good thing about it, as we talked about 2 meetings ago, like, so we met with health department here, and then we had meetings with them, is this will possibly help us tremendously with grants, knowing that we're under, basically an order
Uh-huh.
from the health department and the
local
state.
health department has talked to the
The
state
state,
health department, so we're on their radar now.
yeah, and the
As
state
far
is
as
told,
they know, we're gonna be applying for stuff.
and the state is told them exactly what to write into the report, and that's where that came from, the health department to us, came from the state to the health department here to us.
Beautiful.
So it can only help us, hopefully.
The only other thing I think I touched on it briefly was, I did have both water tanks inspected. A lot of minor stuff, cleaning them and this and that, but the elevated tank is recommended for painting inside and out.
Again?
So we might know, and there is some repairs we might have to do sooner or later. We have a bent stay rod and a couple loose windage rods, which that could affect the stability, so we'll see about how much it charges to come up and get those fixed, but that's everything.
Stability of the tower itself or stability of the mixer inside?
Not the tower itself.
No.
You don't want your windage rods loose.
No.
You know, 'cause it never-
We want it stable, I agree.
But it is, you look at it, it is due for a paint job. You see the video, they put a submarine in it, and there's spots inside, it needs to be painted.
Wasn't that long ago, that was
Probably
done.
$300,000-$400,000 worth of work.
Yeah. 1 minute.
You know, That's it.
Sold on my sprayer, sorry.
Mike?
Rick, congratulate you on your retirement again, I guess. You've been a pleasure to work with. I don't know how many numerous times I called you, and we got mostly mechanical problems. You were willing to listen throughout some suggestions. You've always been very progressive for the town, not going backwards, going forward, so I thank you for that. Again, it's been a pleasure. There's much else I could say, because, yeah, pretty much covered it. As Tyler said, the tractor's ready. We do have three of the remote cameras up right now, so I can sit in the office, I can tell you what it's doing in Depts Road, Union Road, and Smart Hill. We got the other 3 we got to put up. They needed update is what the problem was. So Rob came up from the swim people and got those updated. The brine sprayer that's in the back of the 5 truck, we couldn't get it calibrated, couldn't find out. That's got an actual SIM card, but it's a Camion setup. That's outdated, so they're going to update it. It's basically the same thing like updating a cell phone. There's a fee, obviously. Then we'll be able to count that because we know we're still putting, or we're pre-treating, or we're using it for storms now. That's putting out too much, but we can't dial it down, and that's why, because it's a SIM card.
Huh.
It's outdated, so
Okay.
it's just a simple fix, but it's a process to get there. But the cameras are working good. The only thing I found is that my house, if I want to check like Dept Road or whatever, cell service is terrible at my house.
Yes, it is.
Just in that
You
hole.
cut up
You
block.
go up to Jerry Brooks and you got 4 bars. You go up to the stop sign at Turnpike, you got 4, and it's just that hole. So I couldn't check them last night. I just wanted to check with the rain. As soon as I got out of there this morning, it's neat. You can see, because you can see when the snow, every 15 minutes, long as it's charged, the snow, when it comes down and where it's starting to add up or whatever, it's pretty neat how that works with just a solar panel and stuff. And then, once it gets down below, I think it's 10 volts, then it switches to a picture every hour. And then once it starts back up to 12 something, until between there and that 10, it takes it every 15 minutes to take a picture. So the only thing we're going to turn the one on Union Road, we found the snow is, because the wind is kind of open there, the wind is blowing the snow, even though it's got a heater, it blows it right into the lens. So we're going to turn it more, so it's actually, you're only really going to see a section of the road. But that section we know drifts, and that's why I wanted that camera there. So, and then there's so much traffic on there, if it just happens to be taking a picture. When the car comes, it really leaves a blur. So, but the whole thing is well worth the money. You can see that. So, that's all I got.
Bruno, I think I got your chair tonight.
It keeps going down.
Like sitting on the floor.
Not my chair.
He's got the chair.
It's Rick's chair. So I'll take it with him. And it'll finally be out of here.
Ellen?
That's your
You have anything
retirement
else?
gift.
Actually, I did, because I won't be back, I'll be back January 8th on a Monday, so I wanted to know, people to know that. And it's been great working with Ricky on the America 250. It's a big deal for Peru, so I'm looking forward to if he stays on or whoever continues. But thank you for being there at the last few meetings.
Thank you.
Alan, thank you also, the new series in Press Republic is very,
Oh,
very enlightening and entertaining.
the Frog Farm, huh?
Yeah, the frog farm.
Yeah.
Pam?
Just want to say that Diane is the one who pulled all of the tree lighting together. Want to thank Chaka and Maggie for Mr. and Mrs. Claus, and Chris and Luke for setting everything up and then making sure it was working, and Jim was instrumental too, but anyways, so just want to thank them because it wouldn't have gotten done. But Ricky, it's been a pleasure.
Eric?
Looking forward, got big shoes to fill, so thank you for blazing the trail. Hopefully I can live up to the same that you did. No doubt. Looking forward to working with everybody and the community,
Oh, cool.
very much so.
Nice.
Let's do one.
Let's do it. Kay, you want to say anything?
We're looking forward to Florida.
He has thoroughly enjoyed his time here. It was a very difficult decision for him to make.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, very, very.
All the fire department.
Thank you, Kay.
Thanks for letting
Oh,
us.
no, they've got a parade out now.
Ours are down there.
The parade still.
Yeah, the parade's out
So
tonight.
the three.
Doing the circle.
Okay.
Back, do you guys want to say anything at all? I'll let you guys speak. Anything you want to say? Good? Okay.
Hey,
Thank you for showing up at the concerts and
we're
helping.
saving it for
I
last.
gotta go. Anyone else before?
I just gotta say, first of all, I think you've done a phenomenal job staying awake at all these meetings. I know at your age and after 6:30, if you look at Jim, it gets tough. In all honesty, I didn't know you at all when you became a member of this board. I'm not really connected to this community other than my work out here. I think you've done an incredible job spearheading a large number of projects that you've actually gotten done instead of starting and just leaving in the wind. From what I can tell from the 500-foot view, you've been a phenomenal asset to this board and this town. So good luck, enjoy your retirement. Are you going to Florida?
Well, yeah, 3 months.
God's waiting room,
Snow
enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well, listen to that.
Bruno, how come you wearing a tie tonight?
In honor of Rick.
John, you have anything?
No, I'll second what everybody says about Rick. I think he's been a fantastic member.
I thought John might take a group picture, so you know it's his last day and I want to be in a tie.
All about you, Craig, all about you.
Hey, my mother said
Nothing's
that.
different than when we were in high school, buddy.
We're down to you,
Take the
Rick.
odds.
We're down to you, Rick.
I jotted down a few things. I want to thank the voters at the town school for putting me here. It's bittersweet, giving it up. I've enjoyed it. As you all know, my family goes back to the beginning of Peru. And not just on one side, on both sides, the Heyworths and the Masons. And when I ran for this, I did it first because I thought I could bring a new perspective to the town. And second, because I really thought that I really wanted to do something for the town. That's why I did it. I'm most proud of the work we've done at Heyworth Mason Park. 5 years ago, I
called Brandy and I said, I'd like to get the concerts off the main street and bring them down below. I said, it's not a good venue up front, up in the gazebo. And he agreed. And he kind of gave me the ball and let me run with it down there. And we did the amphitheater, and that was phenomenal. And with that, we did the bell, and that came out great. And then Mel's kind of taking the ball, and he's doing the building. And for me, it's great. It's only going to get better. But to see what we're doing down there, it's great. I really appreciate the trust you put in me working down there. Seeing how my roots started down there, I'll probably be the last one in my family to do any work down there. It was a big deal. I want to thank you.
It's a good legacy, my man.
Like I said, Rick, we can't thank you enough for everything you've done, and not just as a councilman, but as a friend, for everything. Thank you so much. It's not a goodbye.
No.
I got your number, buddy.
But we're keeping you in the group text, man.
Because believe me, elections every 2 years, so if someone ever changes, I'm
still works.
Sure this town will welcome you back with arms.
3 years, Kay, I mean, you're gonna wanna get rid of it.
2 years.
We kept him around for 35 now.
No, you saved the taxpayers and you saved us a lot of money, and you've done, I could go on and on. Thank you. Anything else?
I'm good.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, I need a motion. Actually, no, I gotta go to public comments on agenda items only.
Be quiet.
Nobody? Okay. I need a motion and a second for resolution to pay the bills. Any motion and a second?
Rick, you wanna read?
Just a minute, Brandon. You skipped by other business, and I got a couple of things in here.
Oh, that was the reason we went off where.
Yeah, well, I got 2 things in here, a contract.
Oh, okay, go for it, sorry. I'm not even paying attention.
I know, man, I got you. We work together.
Go for it.
Go.
Oh,
You can talk about it.
Oh, we're gonna, Liz's contract is under other business.
No, Liz's contract we already did, huh?
Nope, she wants us to fill out the contract for her, for the yearly thing.
What's the number on it, baby?
No, that was
No,
number
no,
9.
that's-
That was
that's all
number
done?
9.
Yeah, this is a,
So this is just the DOT thing?
yeah, just to show us, yeah.
Oh, so we don't need to talk about it?
No.
No, just to,
Good enough, thank you.
No
Sorry about it. Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, just from DOT to the board.
Did we approve Liz's contract as a board?
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah, you did a
That's what you
resolution,
said
babe.
about $100 an hour up to $10,000. Yeah.
That was number 9, honey.
Yeah, but I thought that was just for his,
Yeah, there's 2 there,
And
though. Liz sent 2
No,
contracts.
the original, there's 2,
yeah, one was
She
for
said
his that we approved to do the work on his.
but the second one we approve at the organizational meeting, like we do mats and.
Okay.
Just a
All
yearly
that
one.
stuff, yearly contract.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I
and Matt said this other one from DOT, and that is.
It's just an informational.
It's just an informational,
What's gonna happen.
Okay.
that work's gonna happen, and that's. Okay, so, we good?
Yes,
Okay, Matt, you need a motion and a second though to pay the bills.
motion.
Okay? Second by Jim.
A resolution authorizing the post office payment of certain claims, bills, and invoices to the town, whereas the town board has reviewed and audited the following claims, bills, and invoices for services rendered and goods provided to the town in December 2023. From town approved vouchers in December 2023, number 2023-01672 through including number 2023-01788. Abstract dated December 7th, 2023.
for the dollar amount totaling $215,819.33. Of that, $108,007 was wired, credit cards and prepaid, and $107,812.33 is granted to be paid. And whereas the town board finds said claims, bills, and invoices to be acceptable in form and reasonable amount, now therefore be it resolved that payment of the aforementioned claims, bills, and invoices is approved, and the supervisor being hereby is authorized to make such payment, and be it further resolved that this resolution should take effect immediately.
Mr. Douglas?
Yes.
Mr. Barber?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Irwin?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes. Okay, does anyone need an executive session, or do we need executive session?
Who's gone?
He's gone.
He's still there.
Yeah, but Greg's the one, we'll have to table it for now. Greg's the one,
So we don't need an executive session, so I need someone make a motion to table.
I'll make it.
Rick?
Second.
Second by Craig, no,
Okay, I'm sorry.
that's okay. Executive session, Rick made the motion, Craig second. All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Make it.
Jim,
So be it the second.
Rick, you wanna make it?
I'll make it.
Jim,
Who's gonna keep
Jim.
track of these now, like?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.